In this video, we are going to talk about permutation and its application. We shall talk much about permutation in detail and touch a little on combination, a topic we shall be talking about or we shall be dealing with after permutation. Permutation and combination are two basic concepts in a branch of mathematics known as combinatorics. We shall talk about combinatorics in the next section. Now, let's consider the main difference between permutation and combination through the scenarios in the picture. Let's look at the first scenario under combination. We have 2 cups of coffee. Now, combination is not concerned about how the coffee cups are arranged, which one comes first or which one comes last. No, combination is mainly concerned about how many are the cups and how many different ways can they be combined. Another application of combination in real life is also about team selection. Now, in selecting a team, the players that you select to play a team, combination is not concerned about which of them was selected first or which of them was selected last. What combination cares is that how many are the players and how many different ways can they be combined. Another real life example is also how we arrange our clothes in our wardrobes. Yes, combination is not concerned about how you arrange the clothes. Rather, it's concerned about the number of clothes in there and how they can be combined. The same thing applies to food menu. You go to a restaurant, you have your list of prepared dishes to select from, and then you choose the one that you desire. Combination or the knowledge of combination is not applied to how the dishes are arranged. Rather, how many dishes are there and how can they be combined? How many different ways can they be combined? That's what combination deals with. On the other hand, you have phone numbers. That's an application of permutation in real life. A typical example is when you try to dial a number and you mistakenly change the position of just one digit. Straight away, it goes to another user on the same network. Yes, that's permutation. Anytime the position of a number is changed, you realize that you change the entire paradigm or the entire pattern, and then a different permutation is obtained. Another application of permutation is also on licensing. How do we license? How do we register cars? That's the job of the DVLA here in Ghana. You realize that every vehicle has its own license plate with a unique number on it. Now, the moment there is a change in the position of any of these numbers, a different license plate has been obtained and it must be given to a different car. So a different permutation has been obtained. Another example is also word formation. Let's take a word like war, and let's change the order to be R comes first, A follows, and this. You have 2 different permutations, but when it comes to combination, it's one because it is still the same letters repeating in the 2 events. So with combination, there hasn't been any change of arrangement. The arrangement is still the same, but for permutation, there are 2 arrangements here. So we can infer from what we have described earlier that permutation deals with the order of arrangement, whereas combination does not. And let's proceed to talk about what combinatorics is. Now, combinatorics, as we stated earlier, is a branch of mathematics that deals with counting. Here, when we say counting, it's not a matter of arithmetic counting, it's about events. There are some events that are dependent on the other. How can this event be combined? How can these events be counted? What principles can we apply? That's one of the issues that combinatorics deal with. And then also the arrangement. If events do occur, how are the events arranged? Are they arranged in order or they are arranged in a different way? Combinatorics will help you to understand, and then also how they are combined. Now let's talk about permutation, because this is what the video is about. It's about permutation. So we can see that permutation is a concept in combinatorics that deals with the order of arrangement. In one can also say that permutation is an arrangement of objects in a specified order. Therefore, it must have characteristics. What are its characteristics? One, the order. To be able to associate an arrangement with permutation is to be able to identify if it has an order. That's when you can say it is associated with permutation. And then also, so a typical example of the arrangement is what we have here. So you realize that in the first event we have A, B, C,